Federal Constituency of Delta State. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Issues of privilege is an issue that concerns a deprivation of a member getting what the laws as enshrined in Privileges Act has been there. I listened very, very carefully that the propositions of these privilege issues is not from minority party. The issue of the subject matter is the subject matter of minority party. In as much as some of us do not like the language used, because we are not merchandise. And we do not trade in the floor of this chamber. This is my third tenure. Right from my time in 1999 as an honorable members of House of Assembly, we never traded. The House never traded. But Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, do we really agree that his privileges have been breached? Coming from a minority party, I feel my privileges have been breached, but not his. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, I believe, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, that probably matters of publications in the previous assemblies were never considered as too much serious matters. Because it's speculative. Agreed.
Honorable Ossai, as you are aware, can you take a seat for a minute? Let me just quickly address this. The issue of privilege is not open to debate under our rules, but if I allow that latitude, we will not debate it. You've raised an objection. Basically, what you've done is to raise an objection, which is to say that it does not affect Honorable Jimo being a member of the majority party and not of the minority party. But if you look at the rules very closely and the language of the rules, it talks about privileges when they are breached either to the individual or collectively. And when it says collectively, it does not say collectively as majority party or as minority party. When the privilege of this House is breached collectively, the word collective has no other interpretation. What touches one touches all. And that's the way we want to look at it. Let us not segregate this House on the basis, when it comes to privileges, on the basis of minority or majority party. And I think it's important that we note that. Let me just very quickly, before I rule, I was not intending to join issues on this matter. You know, a decision has been made, a decision has been made. I had no intention of joining issues on this matter, but because it has been brought up, it is important to say just one or two things. One, the issue of separation of powers. A lot of people talk about separation of powers. They talk about it in the context of horizontal separation of powers, where you have the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. That is what we all know as separation of powers. But separation of powers does not end there. There are two sides to it. There's also the vertical separation of powers. That is the federal government, the state, and the local government. And the issue of what happens in these chambers has nothing to do with the states or with the local governments. It's a breach of separation of powers. So that's very important. But I also want to note that Section 39 of the Constitution is very clear on freedom of expression. And so whoever makes a statement, such like has been referred to, has a constitutional right to his freedom of expression. But unfortunately, that freedom is not absolute. If you go to Section 45, it curtails that freedom of expression. And I can read it for you, but I don't think there's any need to go into the details. But Section 45 basically checkmates that freedom of expression, and it's not absolute. So the point is noted that the privilege of members of the House collectively has been breached. And I'm glad, Honorable Ossai, you have said that nobody's a merchant here. The language is very, very heavy. The language is very, very serious. No serious house who wants to protect itself or its institution would accept that. I would want to, the privilege has been noted, and I would want to send the message out there to everybody who is outside. There's something sacrosanct about the institution, and they should please try as much as possible, exhibit the leadership role that they are supposed to occupy, and not. I don't think you'll find any member of this house castigating for no reason any state government unless it's absolutely necessary. So please let us take note of that. Thank you.